Good morning. I'm higher vibrations and so are you. There have been an increased experience with Ascension Symptoms, especially lately, due to a variety of different things coming in from the outside to assist us. Many of you are noticing the strange behavior of the sun has increased, and a new thing happened for a while where it was just not doing anything, and then, okay, here it comes. There's a lot more that will be coming in that I've been seeing in this way. In a good way. So we're just going to be noticing of this happening more, where your ears are ringing more. You're having moments of what feels like dizziness or disorientation in the physical form. You know, not really knowing where gravity is. Where do you put your legs? You know, this vertigo, dizzy, lightheaded kind of thing that kind of comes in on occasion. It's not, I haven't found it to be anyway very invasive. It's just simply, wow, I feel this energy moving through. We've hit a couple of amazing points in healing in a global way over the past couple of weeks. And in these few weeks, we've been noticing that a lot of individuals have been waking up for the first time. Individuals you would never expect to be having the questions that they're having are coming in, and they're coming in hot, man. They're waking up fast. And so there is a lot of anxiety or panic sensation coming in from the outside from a lot of these individuals. You know, just this moment of realizing that a lot of the things that we thought were true aren't. You know, remember what this was like for us. And so we're feeling this. You don't have to feel this. When this comes, and know that it's not yours, and let it move through. You know, sometimes it helps to push it through by sending love to it. And by doing that, we're also sending love to the individual or individuals that are having such a traumatic or difficult moment at that time. You know, so while this other stuff's coming in, we're also noticing a lot of head-related things going on. There's a lot to do with the clearing of this sphere. Many of us have been carrying around toxins in our physical form since we were in our mother's womb, since before we were even, you know, inseminated, and we were just the egg in her womb while she was in her mother's womb, our grandmother's womb, you know, and there's all this stuff. And it's moving through now, specifically, especially anyway, through the head, eyes and face, jaw, ear, back of the head, down at the base where the head meets the neck. This whole area have had a real big uptick in reports lately. Different kinds of headaches associated with this tightness, noticing this strange like pressure, individuals having symptoms that seem similar to, you know, a cold or something like that, but it's different. There's this draining that's just, it's something you're clearing. These things are leaving your body. A lot of this toxin has manifested in a physical way, and toxin could be better described as a partner from your other frequency. You know, as we've recently left a certain frequency, many of these things that were on team body are no longer in congruence or in a perfect seamless partnership as they once were. And so there's a separation and a parting of ways happening. And so it's coming through. Lots of people are having this weird sweat, also having to do with like acne and different kinds of rashes as things are surfacing. Very odd. Acne is not even the correct word. It's just the best word to assign what we're talking about. And these are like small little pods of toxin that's going out to through your skin follicles and allowing yourself to, you know, heal through that thing, push it out. And so a lot of stuff like this is happening, different kinds of pressure and stuff. We're having another series of individuals having certain chakras turning on, chakras that they didn't have access to before. And so there's these areas of real tension that can really hurt. It can be a lot of pressure. I'm pointing to certain areas. We're also having this jaw stuff. Sometimes it's one side or with the other. This jaw feels like it's almost left out of its joint or something like this. There's a lot of popping in our whole body that's supposed to be happening. We've been collecting all this stuff, and it kind of slows its motion when we get to joint areas. And usually there's, places where we pop and little bubbles of air go through while this is happening. This is typical. This isn't, you can just let it move through, moving through again and down. We're having a lot of throat activation stuff. This has been really fun to hear about. Some people, if they are having as much as laryngitis-like reaction, other people are just noticing that their throat hurts unless they're using the voice, and like, this is a call for toning or light language or any kind of use of this area. Singing is like usually one of the as I've experienced it, is one of the spiritual things that really start to come in when you're in your power. You start to sing, and everybody has their own kind of singing. Some have, it's absent of melody, what we would call a song, but it's still singing. It's let that stuff come out. I know it's all about play right now, guys. We've just hit this pinnacle of all things. We've been waiting for this moment for so long, and we're here. That's why everything's ahead of schedule. I wasn't even supposed to. I wasn't. I didn't know that I would be at this mountain, at this place, until the very end of March. Like that was the plan, and always what I thought I was meant to do. And then it turned out that we had something else happen, and I was guided to do this, and I was guided to come here early. Being here ahead of schedule has been a little bit disorienting for me too, because I know that there's a series of things that I was to do once I was here and the end of March. And so why am I showing this to you is that there's a lot of stuff that we got ahead of schedule, and I'm so proud of you all. I'm so proud of you all. We have, there's still other things that are coming in at a specific time, but we're getting more stuff right now. While you're in this healing place and you're doing this healing right now. So all this light, all this extra healing is being guided and given us to allow for us, if we should like, to continue the progression of this mass healing. And very specifically, the healing of the mother wound. And so the healing of the mother wound is allowing yourself to go into a meditative place, noticing God's light moving into you. And as God's light moves into you, feel the warmth and the love and the protection, the safety, the familiarity, the perfectness, the cozy, I could be here forever sensation. And as that moves through you, then you'll notice with your mind's eye, right, that your belly button's a portal. And if you go through this portal space, and I know that sounds weird, but like imagine or visualize at the very least that this is something that you can do, man or woman. You're going into this portal that takes you into the womb place. And it's not even your own womb, though it is. It's your mother's womb. And this isn't creepy. This isn't meant to, this is a place to heal. This is where you started, remember. You started here. This was your womb. This was your room. And this place is the place that we're meant to take back. Notice the sensation of love, of protection, of familiarity that you've brought with you, with the light of God to this beautiful place. Your first room. This is the place where you're taking your power back. You get to decide what you feel like. You get to decide what happens to you. No one on the outside decides for you. You are an empowered, sovereign being of light. And you've come here for this grand experiment that we are in now. And it's an experiment of awesomeness. And now all things are aligned in the perfect place. And so we're doing this extra rapid healing. And while we do this, we're assisting all those who have not been able to begin this healing. And so as you're in your mother's womb, be safe and know that you are in this place of maternal love as well. And that in this place, if it's a little bit dark, add some light. Allow yourself, your mind, to turn the light up. Bring more light there. If there are things to see, allow yourself to see them so they can go. Some flashes of moments from past experiences or even past incarnations may appear. See them. You don't need to invest in them and decide anything about them, whether they're blue or they're red, whether they were good or they were bad. They just were, are, and there's nothing that can be done about it. It just is. So let it go. You see it now, let it go. And then you can go into this, the corridor space. It turns into a corridor, a hall, and you can go into another area that looks different. And this is your grandmother's womb. As a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not uncomfortable. It's not uninvited. This is your space. This is your line. And this mother line had been hijacked like 250 years ago or so. Like 2.5 lifetimes. Not generations, but lifetimes. And so you don't need to go very far back to find where the healing needs to be completed. Going through womb to womb. And this can be done over a series of meditations or all in one. It's very healing. And it's very soothing to allow for that long last. To allow the tears to come. To take back your own power from the beginning. And so there's a lot of stuff to do with this area of the body as well, and symptoms. A lot of people are being called to do this, and they don't even realize it, perhaps, that their belly, this area, their lower abdomen, all the way from their ribs down, really. There's all of these different symptoms. People talking about being really bloated, like lots of this real airy, and also a lot of purging stuff has come back up again, uptick in the purging and frequent bathroom trips. And I noticed for me an increased need for liquids. Holy cow. Like a lot of water. I'm drinking a lot of tea. I'm drinking coffee. I'm drinking juice. I need something to drink all the time. And that was always the case, I would say. I always have a container of liquid with me. That's always how it is. Usually it's water. However, this is like really the container of water that I'm carrying around has to be filled back up again, or I need to get new ones frequently. And so this is just something that I'm noticing. And as we're doing this, we're also purging the layers of fat. And there's nothing good or bad about fat. It's simply that it contains memory, and usually it's the densest memory that goes there. And so our appetites are doing this weird thing where sometimes we're like, I don't feel like eating for a very long time. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm getting my grub on. I just went through I'm getting my grub on phase. I ate like every day, which is weird for me, like every day for like over like probably 2 weeks. I don't know, over a week. And now I'm back to like, I'm good, and it's just a part of this, allowing that certain layer of fat to come forward and to move out of us. When this moves out, you'll notice an emotional reaction. There's almost always, every time, there's a sense, a base emotion of a time of your life, like your phase base emotion. And you won't often remember what it felt like to be in that place until you return there. And it's like, oh, this is a gross place. Like, I used to think this was a really awesome energy to be in, but you've improved, you've evolved, and you've been healing. So it does feel gross to go back to this place. It's not forever. It's a temporary thing that's happening. As we go back to this place, this is just like those images and that you would see in your mother's womb. Yes, these images, these moments that just need to be seen. Same will happen with this emotion base of this time frame that you were in previously. And as you move through it, then it can go. Just simply allow it to be seen. Allow it to be felt as it comes up and comes through. And so that will happen. And then all of a sudden, not in a short amount of time, once enough of this dense memory has been pushed to the surface, then we'll often get our grub back on. At least that's been my case. And so the change in weight and body mass, the changing It's kind of having an average, I guess. Anyway, along with this area of the belly and the symptoms of this, a lot of Buddha belly reports, people talking about just a lot of extra water, feeling some crazy experiences having to do with the full moon that we are technically still under, I suppose. It's the last yesterday at noonish, Central Standard Time. It was the peak of the wolf moon, the first full moon of the year, the wolf moon. And this moon brought in some energy with it. Holy cannoli. And some different interesting creatures of the night. That was a very fascinating experience to be a part of last night and through the night. The increase in dream activity that's been going on was really highlighted last night, you know, and lots of different kinds of spiritual and astral related travel and experience. A lot of people have been saying, oh my gosh, I've been talking to you telepathically, and we have. There's been a lot of telepathic conversation. Some of it feels like downloads because it's a sharing of this higher self once we get to this place, you know. So we're having a lot of this other kind of stuff too, where people are seeing other energies. Some of them are seeing each other. We're seeing each other in this telepathic way. It's so amazing and enjoyable. Seeing orbs of light, seeing a halo. It looks like a reverse shadow of light with maybe you can't really see, there's something, you can tell someone's inside of this really faded white halo, but it's just their shadow. They're just out of view. This is them coming into you actually, what it is you raising your frequency up to meet their frequency. And so as we raise our frequency and meet their frequency, then we also will notice them fading in and out until we've got to a stabilized place near to where their frequency is kept. There's a lot of things coming in, but what's most important to know is that you're not alone and that you are being guided by a beautiful, loving force of light that is here to assist, to comfort, and to bring all into a space that they desire of this higher frequency, this love and this joy. You're not alone. And together we are doing this as one. The I am that we are. I'm sending you so much love. Don't give up. We're almost there all the way. Blessings.